Here we go in the cloud. We're going to go in the cloud on this one. And
Yes,
we
sir.
are recording right now. And this is the family tree. Welcome, family.
That's what's
And
up.
this is the end of the month. And this is time. Remember, we talk about season of clean,
Yes, yes,
spring
yes,
cleaning.
yes,
You
yes.
know, I went outside, Big B, and I saw the cherry blossoms today. I was
Yeah,
so
man.
glad.
Yes, yes,
My
yes.
magnolia tree is just showing off. He said, "You know what, Dr. P? I got to do my thing." He said, "I
Mm.
don't care what this weather is doing out here. It's back and forth. I can't tell if it's winter or if it's springtime. But you know
Yeah,
what? I'm just
yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
my thing. And
I know that's right.
my magnolia tree is just showing off. And
Yeah,
did
but
anyone else have a cherry blossom that's going on? Because that's the first week of spring right there when you
yeah,
see
but
the cherry blossoms. Anybody have a cherry blossom tree?
I got
Anybody?
neighbors that got a whole
Yeah,
bunch of them around
nobody
here, man.
nobody raising
Over
their
here in
hand. Did
sticks.
y'all know what a cherry blossom tree looked like? Anybody?
Only in DC,
Only in DC. That's right. That's right.
around the mall that they got them.
Yes,
I'm
that's
in
right.
Delaware.
Oh no, Fairmount
Cherry
Park is
blossom.
full of cherry blossom trees.
Okay, okay.
That's right. That's right. That's
Well,
right.
see, probably
Everything is
they
in.
don't let me in Philly. Probably they told me stay in Jersey.
Oh,
But I'm going to tell you, everything is in Fairmount Park, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Yes. All
Oh
right.
boy.
So we're going to get this started. And I want to give a shout out and let's give a hand to Big Bill Morgan,
Yes, sir.
1L Morgan over
Yes,
there.
sir.
He is my host.
Yes, yes,
He
yes,
is
yes,
actually going
yes.
to be hosting and producing this segment that we're doing today. It's called The Family Tree. And we call it The Family Tree because this is the place where you can bring together. Because we
Yes, yes.
believe that the most precious and anointed place that you can go is your family. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about Social Security. Your social security really is your family. How about
Uh-huh.
that? Say it slow. Social
Social security.
security.
I know
Mm.
that's right. That's what's up.
Man, you gotta say it slow. You gotta say
Yes,
it
yes,
slow.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
social security means that your people, your family, let's not tear each other down. Because when you tear each other down, you're tearing down your social security. You got it? You never know
Yes,
when you
yes,
got to
yes.
go back through your social security, right? It
Man, I
ain't a
know that's
check,
right.
y'all.
I
It
know
ain't a
that's right.
check. All right. All right. Big B, take it away, brother.
Yeah, Dr. Paul, before we get started, let me just share how good, talking about something that Farouk just mentioned, my personal devotion this morning. Look at the topic, Dr. Paul, at the tree.
At the tree.
At the tree, y'all. Check
At the
this out.
tree?
He said, and the Lord God commanded man, saying, of every tree of the garden, thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Now, it goes on. So by calling Adam and Eve to obey his will, God was saying, I am your creator, and I have made you in my image. Your life is sustained by me. Okay? And for by me and live to move and have your being. I have provided all things for your well-being and happiness, sustenance, home, human companionship, and have established you as a ruler of this world under me. If you are willing to affirm this relationship with me because of your love for me, then I will be your God and you will be my children. Hey, y'all, he's talking to us at the tree, guys. The
Good.
test was given to Adam and Eve was one of loyalty and faith. One will be loyal to their creator who had been given them everything they needed, plus a world of delights, or would they go their own way? That's why I said, got all this stuff hanging out. Independent of his will, would they have enough faith in him to take him at his word? Their loyalty and their faith were tested by the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In what ways do we face similar tests even today? So, how does God's law function as a parallel to the command given in Genesis 2:16 and 17? So, think about that, guys. Hey, that's what the tree is talking about. We've got to recognize that, you know what? God set all this stuff up in the beginning. He had a balance for us that Dr. Paul talks about all the time. And when you listen to Dad says, hey, y'all, I said it for you. If you listen, you will never go wrong. You
All
will
right. All right, Big
I just
B.
thought I'd share that
Well
because it
said.
was just
Well
confirmation
said.
that
That was the word of the day.
Wow.
That was
Hallelujah.
that was the that was the word of the day. I got you, brother. All right. Amen to that.
yes,
Amen to
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, now
Big
let's
B.
roll to the numbers. All right.
Yes, yes, right.
All right, don't want to forget that. Of course, this comes from our favorite website. That's ncove2019.live. That's ncov2019.live. Now, remember, I'm going to give them, but then again, I'm going to come back and I'll put them in the chat so you'll be able to get them later on for the chat once we're all done at the end of the evening. Okay? Here we go. Now, for total confirmed cases, 129,000. 422,000. Oh, excuse me.
You said 129 million. Yes.
129,422,109. Total confirmed. There's total critical, guys. Total critical, 96,345. Total deceased, way up, y'all. 2,826,515. Total active, 25,291,279. Here we go. Wait, doctor. I gotta go here for a second. Hold on.
What's that? Your applause?
I bring my own applause, man. Don't you
okay.
Stop. Don't
All right.
Okay. Here we go. The thing for that mix and mix, we are now total recovered 104,355,489.
All right.
Now that's what's
awesome.
up. So guys,
y'all hear that? Yes.
You heard that again. Let me give it to you one more time. That's 104,355,489.
All right.
It's bad, but it's not as bad as they're trying to trick us into believing.
Well, remember, family, the reason why we're, I ask Bill to do the numbers every time because, if you're looking for the very first time, if you're joining us for the very first time, we're going to a website that was started by, it's called ncov2019.live. That's ncov2019.live. That's a website that if you go to this website, it was designed by a young man out of Oregon as a project for his school. And he did this when there was probably a minimum of less than 100 people with COVID. Yes. He did this, and it was actually part of what's called data mining. Data mining means that they're taking the data and it automatically pulls the epidemiologist reports from all over the world, from every country, city, everywhere, and it pulls it into one source of information. So if you go to this website, you can pull down the data. The data goes from the quick facts, which if you want to find out what is the total confirmed amount of cases of COVID, Bill, I just got a big update right now. Just an update just came through. Okay. I'm looking at 129,425,752.
Wow, just that quick.
So 3,000 people just went that fast since Bill announced that. And also we're looking at a total deceased around the world, 2,826,685. But here's the part that I always tell folks that they're not reporting on the news, and we have to get this. And this is to celebrate those that have had it and have gone through and total recovered. This is the one thing that's not being reported. 104 million people, 359,940. Did you get that? Out of 129 million people, there's 104 million people that recovered from this. Wow. So that's a shout for somebody. We got to celebrate the people that went through this thing. And, there's stories of people who say, you know what? This changed my life, just being diagnosed as being COVID.
Yes.
And then now people pretty much are not sort of throwing you under the rug and saying, like, you didn't forget about the fact that what you went through. Some people don't realize what you go through when you have been diagnosed that. Sometimes that can be traumatic itself. Some people can say that, hey, you know what I went through? I lost a whole lot of sleep thinking about what if something happened and I couldn't provide for my family, or I don't have my children. I'm not there for my immediate family. So we have to celebrate those people that went through that and have pulled out of this, but yet you're not getting that on the TV. How about that? So I just want to always reflect on that before I open up all of whether it's the family tree or the WURD family, when I bring that on, because that's not what you're getting. You're not getting that information. You're getting one side, and that's not good. That's not fair. I think if you're going to be stern, be fair. But that's not fair to you, to the people that have gone through it. And then may be very people that are listening right now that are on this channel. So I want to celebrate you if you've gone through that and you've done something that's done holistically that corrects that. Okay? So I want to say that to everyone. We're going to start off today. If you are here for the very first time, all you want to do is, if you go down to the the reactions. You can set up and raise your hand if you have a question. We'll go right in and start to just ask questions tonight, and we'll go in to ask some of those questions that may be some things you heard or did not heard. It could be news articles, and we'll try to go in and just tag it. How about that? You got to raise your don't just raise your hand that way. We got to raise your hand in the chat bar. You got to add. I see.
Hey, guys, down on
You
the
got to go in there, and you got to
reactions. See
right where you see reactions.
Click on that and scroll over to the left. It says clap.
It says raise your hand. Raise your hand. Got it?
Come up on my
Dr.
screen.
Paul, everybody doesn't have the updated version. That's why they don't raise your hand down there.
Okay, so they got
That's
the
only
old
those with the update, yeah.
So they got the old hands raised there, huh?
Yeah, so they have to find that in the participants box. But I'm gonna tell you now, Barbara is a new listener, and she's having trouble finding her hand because she's
finding. Okay,
so,
well,
she's on her phone and she's raising her hand.
Okay, all right. We'll make sure we take care of those folks that are tuning in through phone also. All right, we'll look for you. All right, family. I want to start off and go right in as we let more folks in. You know, folks are coming in tonight. You know, and it's good to see everybody. I'm going to start off with Margaret. Margaret Campfield. I got you over there, Margaret. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Dr. Paul?
All right. All right. Good to see you.
Wow, I'm first tonight. Thank you.
Yes, you are first.
Great. I had a question in regards to something you talk about all the time, but I must not have taken enough notes because I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. So I bought the entire kit, the green drink, the colon cleanse, and the sweet. Okay. So am I supposed to take all three of these every day? Or do you do it like in a different type of sequence?
No. Remember, and make sure you write this down because it's very important, okay?
Yeah, I'm writing it down now.
Right. Remember, the green drink is always probably the number one thing that I'm seeing in that whenever folks come through and get an assessment, the number one problem that people are having is malnutrition. They said in 1947, the food doesn't have 47% of its nutrients. Everyone that comes through is literally starving. You're in the wrong place of the planet. We're on the wrong side of the planet, y'all. The chemicalization, the industrialization, the GMOs, the emissions, the radiation, the Wi-Fi, the 5G, everything is causing damage to the food sources that we have. So that's going to be problems on your cells. So now everyone's malnutrition. So the body's saying, well, whatever I can do to replenish this, I'm going to go in the inside of you and I'm going to grab the nutrients and the calcium from your bones. So that's going to start to strip the bones, the joints, the ligaments. Then you got all these arthritic issues. So the green drink is the everyday multivitamin. Got it? But you got to take this thing throughout the day. The whole concept is to stay even like this. Got it? Most people are saying, well, I take a multivitamin, but they take it one time a day. And then by the end of the day, you way down here. You got it? So you got to take it 3 times a day. It is a meal replacement. So that's what you would do. Usually when you take the green drink, it has the best of the land and the sea. The whole concept of what I put it together was because I looked at the deficiencies that most people have. And they have the issues with land and sea. So there's astragalus, there's also alfalfa, there's spinach, there's also turmeric, there's beets, all of that's in there. And then on the other side, you're going to have the sea, which is the kelp, the chlorella, the spirulina, the sea moss, the purple dulse seaweed. I try to get the deep stuff that's far closer to the equator so that when you're getting this food, it has a lot of sun in it, has a lot of energy in it. So now when you take that, that's going to balance you right here. You got me? So Margaret, that's what they do. So the green drink is number 1. That establishes your voltage and energy of the body. That's your pH. Then you start with the colon cleanse. The colon cleanse is also the same thing. I grab a lot of the herbs and things that are closer to the equator. One specifically with that is called Cape Aloes. Cape Aloes comes from the place down specifically in South Africa below the equator. So now that stuff is so good. It's one of the highest of what's called the bitters. So it's going to go in and bind to all the bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites, and then it pulls it out of the system. But you must do that system first. Got it? So that's the first system. That has about 100. I put 100 capsules in there. How about that, y'all? Put 100 in there. So you got 100 capsules in there. Some people will be faster than others. Some people's systems are very slow. Some people need to do more. Usually we try to get a layman's term on how you would take that. Usually I start off with like 2 after dinner. Or it may say take 1 until there's a desired result. A desired result means that you're trying to, once you eat, you should be eliminating. That's the rule, right? Y'all remember that, right? If you eat, you must eliminate. So if you're eating 3 times a day, you should be eliminating 3 times a day, right? Everybody, woo, we got crickets on this thing, boy. What is it? This phone, is this thing on? Big in my hair? Can I hear me?
I can't go that
I can't hear. Testing. Yes, that means that if you eat 3 times a day, you should be eliminating 3 times a day. Many people are not at that level. That's where you need to go. That's your goal. That's your goal you need to start at. So if you're eating soon after, you should be eliminating. That's what the colon cleanse gets you, okay?
Okay.
Then after you've completed that whole 100 capsules, then you move into the parasite cleaner, which is called the eliminator. The eliminator's concept of the eliminator is that once you clean, you sweep. Parasites tend to believe if they are trying to be eliminated, they will try to procreate. So they tend to spawn more parasites as they're being eliminated. So they're going to spawn by the thousands and sometimes millions.
Wow.
If they believe they're being threatened, which is just like anything, is trying to procreate. So people that clean but don't sweep, you're going to have a problem. That's why some people will say, well, I was cleaning and all of a sudden I started getting all this bloating. That's because usually parasites are spawning. Got it? They're spawning more, and then they're building up. So you have to cleanse and then you sweep. So after you finish the colon, Margaret, then you follow with the parasite. Got it?
So do you finish the entire bottle or just until you feel?
Nah, you gotta finish the entire bottle. That's the whole system. The whole concept is that, especially if this is the first time you've ever done any type of cleanse. We cleanse, we wash our hands every day, but the question is, how often have you cleansed and washed your colon?
Yes.
You got it? That's what you gotta watch.
So to make sure, I'm sorry. So to make sure I understand, I'm going to take 2 of these after dinner until this bottle is done. This is the colon cleanse. And then once I'm finished this bottle, then I'll start the eliminate.
Right. Now, I'm going to say that, but put an asterisk right there. But remember, that's what I just said as a recommended, because different people will have different situations, especially if people are eating, or if they're heavy meat eaters. Some people are very heavy meat eaters, which means that it's going to take a little bit for them to move that stuff. So you're taking, if this is your colon, right, you have multiple layers in that colon. And that's why when they say some people, when they pass away, they do an autopsy and they got, sometimes 50 to 100 pounds or more of fecal matter, gunk, just sitting in the intestines.
Yes.
That's because all around the lining of the colon is just meat, backed up, all kind of, fecal matter. So you have to do layers. That's what the concept of that is. That's why you got to do those, that's why I put 100 in there, because it's going to take a while to cleanse that. And with proper balance, you should start to see proper elimination. So that means soon after you eat, soon after you should eliminate. Y'all remember the time frames I talked about, right? You remember the time frames? Time frames of elimination, proper elimination, right? So when you eat, how soon after should you eliminate? Between what hours? You remember that, right? Y'all remember that class, right?
No.
24 to 48 hours.
48 hours.
18
Between
hours.
what? 18.
18 hours.
24.
Okay, 18 to 48 hours.
48 hours.
Got it? That's your time frame. 18 to 48 hours. Got it? So anything prior to 18 hours is what?
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
That right. That is correct. Diarrhea. That means things are moving fast. If you ever experience watery stool, that means that there's probably some kind of a microbe of some sort. That's a foreign element in your intestines.
Yes.
Got it? That's where it comes from. The whole concept is that the body's saying, I got a foreign invader in the intestines. Send extra water in the intestines to flush it out. So that's why when people have watery stool, you got some kind of bacteria or some kind of virus in your intestines. Got it? That's between what? 18 hours, below 18 hours. Now, between 18 and 48, that's normal. But then after 48 hours, what would that be?
Constipation.
Constipation. Yep, you backed up. You got it. Nothing's moving. No energy in the gut. That's why we have to go back to the bitters. And that's what the green drinks brings, the gut bacteria. You know, you got to have the good bacteria back in it that supports the alkaline, right?
There you go.
What charge is that alkaline, by the way? Y'all remember what charge is that alkaline? What charge is that alkaline? I know we got some, we got some real health folks in
Fruits
here.
and vegetables.
Right, but what charge is that? Is that male or
it's a net-
female?
Oh,
Oh,
Is that
female.
male or
Female.
female? Y'all, now we went through this last week.
Female. Female.
Female charge.
We went through this last week. Is this female or male principle? Got it? Because male principle is what? What's male principle?
Eliminate.
Everybody on one accord. One male is what? Go, right?
Yes.
Go,
Moving.
right? Forward, action, right? What else? Heat, destruction, tear down. That's male principle. Female is what? Nurturing,
nurturing.
Yeah.
right? Relaxation, calm, stop.
Stop.
You got it? I know y'all ladies told many of men that. Stop now. See the stop sign.
Say what?
Can I have your number? Stop. Y'all know that. Female principle. So
Yes,
male
yes.
is go, female is stop. Got it? So with that being the principle, you gotta, that charge in your gut is probably a male principle, which is positive charge if you're constipated. That means things are tearing down. That's the environment which bacteria, virus, fungus, sepsis, parasites, cancer, all that stuff, even COVID lives in a positive charge.
Yes.
So if you alkalize, what's going to happen? You alkalize, you're going to neutralize the acid. You got it? That's what starts to make the difference. So that's why the colon cleanse, you should do that 40-day kit. You can do it every change of seasons if you can. If some people, like I say, Margaret, will be different though. Some people will be faster. Some people have very sensitive systems. Some people will say, I take one capsule and I'm off to the races, doc. And then some people say, I'm not seeing anything at all. They're probably heavy meat eaters. So just take the desired result. What's the desired result again? What? Soon after you eat, soon after you eliminate, right?
Yes.
All right. So hopefully that helped you there, Margaret.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Big B, who else we have? You have anyone on the chat there?
No, everyone else has been pretty good at Dr. Paul.
Okay, and also you can put your question right in the chat also.
Yes,
if you have a chat, you have a question, put it right in the chat, and Big B will pull it up, and we can tell what's going on. We got Flo. Flo, what's up, Flo? Flo from Florida.
Hi, Flo, from Florida.
Dr. Paul,
Yes.
this coffee, it says on here that it may contain lead. This is the mushroom coffee.
Wait a minute. What kind of coffee is this now?
The mushroom coffee. Can you see it?
Okay, what is it what is it now?
It says, wait a minute, let me find it again.
Is that Ganoderma?
No.
What kind of coffee is that?
Mushroom.
Okay. Mushroom may contain lead.
Wow.
Is that a disclaimer from California?
Yeah.
Okay, that's something that they put on all products. That was something that happened. They sort of put this disclaimer on all products that were coming, that were food products, because they were finding out there were traces of lead through there. I can tell you that's an exaggeration in a lot of levels. I mean, they're just a precaution, and it's something that has messed up a lot of people that were coming out of California.
Yeah,
that's just because it's coming out of California, right?
Mhm.
Did you see it? Is it coming out of California?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's California. It had
Okay.
some kind of laws they passed that were very, very strict. And they had something going on where they had to do this legislation and they had to label all the products, and some of them had. So everything that was literally food products had to have that on there as a protection. Doesn't mean that it's bad. What kind of is that? Is that like a lion's mane, or what is that?
So, 4-sigmatic.
Okay, what kind of mushroom is that again, you said?
Well, it doesn't say what kind it is. Oh yeah, lion's mane.
Lion's mane, right?
mane.
That's lion's mane. Yeah, I can tell you that most of the lion's mane is cool. It's good. Lion's mane. For those who don't know it, anybody know what lion's mane is? By the way, anybody know what lion's mane? Lion's mane, like a lion's mane. Like a mane of a lion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It
Got
looks
it?
like a little puffy ball.
Right. The other herb is called. It's actually named pom pom. It can be also called pom pom. And it looks like a lion's mane, and the whole concept is that this is one of probably the oldest of all of the mushrooms on the planet. It actually takes 50 years for it to mature.
Wow.
So that's about 50 years old right there before it even matures. So it grows in the forest and is one of the only ones that actually is the purest of the carbon base. So it is actually the purest and probably of all the plant life, it is the highest of the carbon base. So what does that mean? It's very good for your pineal gland. So if you're having things like, issues with the pineal gland or the endocrine system, very good for calmative. It's a relaxant. It's also good for anxiety, depression. If someone's dealing with some levels of psychotropics, that is a good transition that some people do. We say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. I got to say that. But it is excellent as a calmative. It's called lion's mane. It is also a very good calmative and meditative herb. Got it? So it's a good prayer herb for those that are prayer warriors. All right, somebody going to the bathroom. What's going on? What was that?
Hey, y'all. Mute those mics. TMI, y'all.
Y'all gotta mute them. Y'all gotta mute them mics, y'all. All right. So lion's mane is good. If you have a problem with that, just get it from another source, from not California. You got it. But that's not something that happened. That's on all products coming out of California. I believe a lot of it has a lot to do with Fukushima. Y'all know about Fukushima?
Yeah, Japan.
No.
Okay, the event that took place in Japan.
Yes.
And a lot of that is coming forth and is washing upon the shores of the Pacific or in California. So they're trying to be very just aware. So they're just kind of letting folks know. They may have started to pick up a lot of lead in their studies. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Dr.
All right,
got a
listen.
question over here. One about red onion tea. Can you reheat the tea that's left over and drink the next day?
It depends. Yeah, you can drink that the second day. Just remember, in about a day and a half, it runs rancid. Okay, about a day and a half. For those that are listening for the very first time, red onion tea, we get the organic red onion. Okay, and yes, there's a lot of people with plaque buildup in their arteries and veins. So we use this as an ancient tea. It's called Bushman tea.
Right.
And you take a red onion and you take that, put it in some really good water, like a crystal geyser. Make sure it's a spring water, must be bottled at the source. No spring water like Deer Park and Poland Spring stuff. Get something that's bottled at the source. When it's bottled at the source, now you boil that for about 20 minutes. Well, we boil it first, and then when you take the onion, got to be a number 9 organic. Drop it in the water and boil it for about 20 minutes. In about 20 minutes, it actually gets soft like a ball. Take it out, and you drink that tea all throughout the day. When you drink that tea, you can drink that. Make sure it's hot, okay? You can literally declot every artery and vein in the body in 48 hours. Got it? So that's deep leg thrombosis, issues with clotting. A lot of folks are having bypass surgeries and things. I'm going to tell you what it is. The problem is, it's absolutely that oil, y'all. You got to stay off of that oil. You got to watch those bad oils. That would be canola oil, number 1.
Yes.
Number 2 would be vegetable oil. Number 3 would be corn oil. Number 4 would be peanut oil. Those are the bad ones. Got it? If you want any oil, you got to get what? The unrefined oils. Got it? Unrefined. Unrefined means that what? Who's the greatest refiners? We are the greatest refiners.
There we go.
Got it?
There we go.
So we don't want anything refined. Let our body, the liver, pancreas, kidneys are the refiners. Take that stuff and now you doing what? You refined it. You grab all the energy. But if you have that stuff that's refined, it's going to stick to your arteries and veins. It gunks up your liver. And next thing you know, cholesterol goes high. You're absolutely going to be on a statin. You got it? You're going to be on a statin. So red onion is one of the things that we use for that.
I'm sorry, Dr. Paul, did you say boil the water 20 minutes and then add the onion for another 20?
No, just boil the water, okay? Which is a pot. How fast is a pot boil? That's a question. And then after that, you drop it in there, boil it for 20 minutes. Got it? If it's been, you don't want that to last no longer than a day and a half. You'll notice the difference because it runs rancid. It has a certain type of odor. I don't know if y'all know about things running rancid, but they start to move to the bottom. Okay, the minerals they're starting to tear down. They're breaking down because it's organic, so it's going to break down. That happens usually, rancid usually runs actually about a day and a half. So try not to do it after that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, guys, make sure you mute, guys.
I hear myself.
There we go. Thank you.
I hear somebody.
There we go. All right, we're in good shape now.
All right, who else do I have here? Put your hand down when we've gotten you covered. And I have Cheryl there, Cheryl T.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Thank you for your time, your energy, your research, and your wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'm kind of confused on the kidney flush. I know when you make it, I haven't made it yet, but it seems like the measurements only make maybe a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup.
Okay, which kidney flush are you doing?
The one that you have with the lemon, the grapefruit, and the other ingredients in it.
Okay, I believe you're talking about the one that's a half a. No, give me what you have. Give me what you have.
Okay, it's a half a cup of lemon juice, number 9, half a cup of grapefruit juice, and I don't have the other ingredients right now, but it was in the chat last week.
Right. Usually you go into. Yeah, go ahead. What else do you have?
Okay, I don't have the rest of the ingredients, but the prophetess knows it. She probably knows it by heart.
Right. So remember, you want to add the garlic. You remember the one
garlic? Yes.
You got the garlic, right?
Yes.
And you can do one garlic clove.
Right.
And then you can also have
garlic and powder.
Right. Or you can do a 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, or you can do a minced garlic. Some people, because someone even asked, can you do a minced garlic? Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. And then you're dealing with the ginger root.
Yes.
Right? Ginger root, and then the cayenne pepper.
Yes.
I think those are the last 2 that you're missing.
Okay. Now, is that just a one-time serving, or do I need to do that, fix that mixture every day, once a week? How do I take it?
Sure. You can do it. Usually we try to do it on a 7-day cycle. Got it? 7-day cycle. Every day for 7 days. Got it? That's
okay.
You can do it for 7 to 14 days. Some people do a 14-day cleanse when it comes to that, because it depends on how. Remember, here's the good thing, Cheryl. You can't mess it up because it's food. We're talking about food, and you can't overdose on food. It's just basically it's how you apply the principle. So long as you apply the principle, you can do a 7-day straight days. That's for serious situations. Some people have a kidney situation where they may have been told that they're about to put them on dialysis or something like that, and they say, well, you know what, I got to do something fast. That's what we would say, do a quick flush. That's what we
okay.
See, flushes are quick. That's the one we flush to get you, back on top fast, so that's what that is.
Okay, so if I make if I like make enough for 7 days.
Don't do that.
No,
Don't
don't
do
do it. Just cook.
that. I know where you're going with that. I know.
Okay, so do I just make it as I take it daily?
Yes, always make it fresh every day.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Because think about it. I just talked about how the red onion goes rancid, right? So if you
Okay, got it.
made it the first day, by the third day, it's already bad. You got it? See,
Okay.
when you're dealing with organics, they have a lifespan, but they start to tear down. It's just life itself. It's going to tear down. So when you start to do this, just make sure every day is always the best policy. You want to get it fresh. I want the best for my body, right? That's what you want. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. And if you are talking about that, we did what's called a liver flush. We did a kidney flush. We did a stomach flush, and then we did a spleen flush. Those are all flushes that we have. I don't know if Prophetess is down there typing away. She's like, how fast you type, by the way? How fast you type?
Miles a second.
She's like,
She be kicking, Dr. Paul.
she be flying. Bill done gave up. Bill said, I give
I
up.
couldn't take it.
Bill
She was weighing me out, man.
She's a stenographer.
There you go. There you go. She has to be, because Bill was trying to put stuff down and said, already out there, Bill.
I looked at it. It's gone, so that take care of that.
Bill,
Oh, boy.
I'm retired now, but I still.
no, you're not.
Nope.
No, you're not. You're
No,
not retired.
You're not allowed to retire.
You're not allowed to retire. That's right. All right, family. Okay, moving ahead. Let's talk about let's see who else we have here. We have Helen. Helen?
Good evening, Dr. Paul and Bill and everyone. How are you?
All right, doing well.
Great. So I have a couple questions for you, Dr. Paul. The first one is in regards to soy milk, soy tofu. How is soy effective on women? Because it has estrogenic property. So is it very good for us to take?
Yeah, there's a big thing with soy, and I have addressed that several times. Soy has gotten a bad rap because people, and yes, it is because, people will say that, it is an estrogen producer. So it causes, women, if they're diagnosed with breast cancer, it accelerates the growth of cancer. Also for little boys, grows little breasts, because it starts to give them female properties. Got it? So now they start to, do things like act like females, and also they have the growth like a female principle. So here's the thing about soy, and I hear what people are saying. But here's the study. Remember the history of soy. The history of soy goes back to farming. When they farmed and wanted to plant, when a farmer planted his crop, okay, the first thing he planted the seeds, right? And then he got his harvest, right? So when he gets his harvest back, right, now he actually has two harvests coming. He has the actual crop itself and the seed harvest. Got it? So now when he grabs those seeds, he's ready to replant those again. But he's got to let that soil recover or regenerate for next year. Got it? So what did he do to regenerate that soil? Well, we need something that's high with a nitrogen property, and that was soybeans. You got it? So they planted the soy, and the soy helped and also aided as a bed of covering over the winter. Got it? And it regenerated the soil. So by the time, the next season comes in, it's ready and regenerated for the next planting. You got me? So now you got all these soybeans sitting around, and they say, well, what are we going to do with it? And now they got an excess of soybeans. So what are we going to do with it? Well, we can, take it and add it as a filler, or we can modify it and then do some other things with it. We can put it in cakes, cookies, pies. We can put it in anything. That's what happened. It started to take that and now modify it and then put it in different products. The studies that have been done on soy have been used specifically for the purposes of not telling you it's the right organic soy. Those are modified soy. So when they saying the boys have, genetic, issues with breasts and the women have issues with accelerating cancer, that's genetically modified soy. So any study that you see, you got to ask the $1 million question. Is it something that has been organic soy? If it does not address that, that's a nullified study. You got me? Now, my question to you is, if it has the ability to regenerate soil, what does it have that it can do to you?
Well,
you got it? That's powerful. That's powerful.
That's deep.
That's powerful. So if it can regenerate soil, then you ain't a problem. It's what man is doing to the soy that's been the problem. You got it? And I understand that there's some that say, yeah, it's been manipulated, it's been modified back in times, but we can trace soy back to even the ancient dynasties, of ancient times. So it's been around. And, George Washington Carver, they actually assigned him to do some modifications to it. So that's why I'm saying there's a lot of story to it. We say stay away from it because you don't know if you're getting the real deal. Because in the United States, there's no mandatory labeling laws. Got it? We're fighting at the UN about this whole concept that everywhere else in the world, you got, mandatory labeling laws, which means if somebody mess with the food, you got to tell somebody. But guess what? Here in America, you can do whatever you want to do.
That's right.
You don't have the accountability. That's my biggest problem right now, is that we're not being told the truth. So when you get some soy, you don't know if is this real soy, is this non-GMO? I don't know if it's real or not. Got it? So that's why we're saying women stay away from it, because we don't know. Not because soy has got a bad rap. It's got a bad rap. But because of the fact that it's something that has just not been properly labeled, and there's no regulatory agency that governs it. That's why it is. Okay?
Okay, thank you. And then the next question I have is in regards to the shungite. I want to know, what is the shungite originated from? And also, is there any religious overtones associated with the purposes of the shungite?
Not at all. So shungite, y'all see that? I look like I'm on Price is Right, don't I?
Yes, you do. Yes, sir. Yes, you are.
That is shungite right there. See that right there? Ooh. Shungite comes from Shangia, Russia. Shangia, Russia. It was actually a meteorite. Shungite. It's a meteorite that actually landed in Russia. And from that, it's actually, you could say it's not even from this planet. How about that? Very light, has 0 ohms. That means that this thing has 0 ohms. So that means when you pass energy through it, there's no resistance. So I could sit this in the back of a battery. I could put a battery behind this and hook this into the front of a flashlight, and it would light up because there's no resistance. Got it? So that means whenever something like a Wi-Fi or 5G or something like that comes down, it brings it down. Boom. Brings it right on down. So now it nullifies a lot of the Wi-Fi. That's why you see all of the big rave now on the internet to get a shungite stone. You see people have shungites outside their homes now. They plant them right outside on the ground when you get to their homes, and they got one in the back of the house. So any energy hit there goes right to the ground. Boom. Any of the black stones will do that anyway. So that's why we get shungite. Shungite. Also, you have things like tourmaline. Tourmaline, another black stone. Onyx. Okay. Grounding stones. Black granite.
Yes.
Grounders. They're grounders. So any black stone, and I'm telling you, ladies, you probably got a lot of them right in your jewelry box that you would use. Keep that stuff on you. That stuff helps to, especially if you're around computers, monitor screens, if you're around a lot of computers all day, you need something, especially our children. That's why I have my son, I have him a black granite right here, and I tell him just to keep it on. When he get on the computer, he just keeps it on. Got it? So it keeps that so it's not slamming against your cells. Cell damage, they know, is a problem. 5G is a problem because it's actually slamming against your cells. And now they're up to almost 6G now. So Yeah, we got a problem, y'all. I don't know how we're going to get any farther up with this.
Dr. Helen, that's a great question, and the only reason why I bring that up is because because of the different types of organizations spiritually. So many
Right.
folks who don't understand that we
Right.
come from the earth. Now,
Right.
guess what? It's in the earth.
Right. So there is no spiritual significance to, like, if there was, if anything, people try to get spooky with it. I
Right.
say
That's
Because they
right.
don't understand.
and they don't understand that.
They're trying to say it's a
Y'all-
false idol or something.
Y'all
Right.
see this right here?
Mhm.
If that's true, then everybody that carries one of these things called a cell phone is
Amen.
using a false idol.
Yes.
Because guess what this is? This is a crystallized, this
Yes.
is a crystal display,
Yes.
which uses the same thing. It's a crystal. So people never thought about that. But that's a denatured crystal. That's the
Yes.
bad one.
Yes.
The
Yes.
bad
Yes.
one is the phone.
Yes.
Right.
So
I'm
you
right.
want the good one. You
Yes.
want the natural crystal,
They're gonna
because
help
the
you.
natural one, we say, is a dual terminated crystal.
Yes.
A dual terminated crystal.
Yes.
So I mean, I got all kind of them. They sitting around. See, they're balancing and bringing the energy down. If you want to just go back to this, you need to send those, the super high religious folks, send them right to the Bible and show them the breastplate.
Yeah.
Breastplate,
Amen. The
and
ephod.
you got the breastplate
Yes,
of
sir.
Solomon
It's
and all of,
all
and
right
they got
there,
all
guys.
the stones right there. And there's a tribe for every tribe.
Yes.
There's a
There's
stone.
a stone.
Can I get a hallelujah out of here?
That's why you need to read, folks.
Yes.
Dad says
All right.
perish for one reason,
Dr.
and one reason
Paul.
only: lack of knowledge.
That's
Hallelujah.
right. I think
See-
Dr. Paul would mislead us wrong,
Hallelujah.
He's
I
a Christian
won't lead
man,
you
so
wrong. I
No,
ain't
see,
trying to lead you wrong.
No, but this is the best place
So
to
Dr.
ask
Paul, do
these
you have
questions.
to have a stone or could you have a wood one?
What now?
Because I ordered one from Nijo Avenue and it's not stone, it's wood.
It's wood.
Yeah.
A wood stone. You better go get your money back.
Money back. Get your
I ain't
cash
never
back,
heard.
Flo.
No, wood is wood.
Yeah, but that's what
Stone
I'm
is stone.
saying. Yeah, I ordered the sunlight bracelet and the one that he sent me was wood.
Oh no, that's the wrong
Kevin, give
stone.
me your
That
money
ain't
back, Flo.
that ain't wood. Yeah,
Does it
shungite.
change colors when it gets wet?
No, it
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, because I just bought one from that place on Broad Street, and
Yeah,
the
that's where I
bracelet
got mine
changed.
from.
No.
Yeah, and
Take
it
it back,
changed every
because
time
when
I
it-
wash my hands. The bracelet turns, its dye is coming off of it.
No, yeah, usually shungite. Yeah, shungite has the ability to. You remember, it's a meteorite. Okay, when you have a real shungite stone, that's what it is. It's the real deal. So you got to check that out. Make sure it's shungite that you're getting. Okay. Make sure you get it. And if you just go on, if all you got to do is just go online. If you go online and just punch in shungite, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be everybody's grabbing it because the studies show. And then here's the other part. This is why you can't get spooky, because remember I told y'all, stick to the science. Got it? The reason why people get into this because they don't understand the science. There's science behind it. We actually did a study. We went in the men's group and we did a study. We had these meters. We had electromagnetic field readers, and we actually took the shungite and actually showed how it brought down the frequency from cell phones. We tested about all the cell phones. We did the 4G, we did 3G, we did LTE, we did all of these, and we actually performed the test. But we also went to anything that projected an electromagnetic field, which was anything. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to believe what had one of the highest electromagnetic fields, and it's right probably in your house.
Talk to me, Dr. P. What is
those little space heaters?
Tell us.
Those little space heaters?
Yes.
Absolutely. They kick off a lot of electromagnetic field. A lot of radiation comes off of those little things. You ever seen little space heaters? Y'all got them? People, sometimes people, when it's cold, you throw the blanket over it and you sit under there and watch the movies and stuff, all that. Yeah, that thing kicks off a lot of radiation.
Wow.
It shocked us all. We were like, wow. The numbers went off the chart.
Wow.
And then I started seeing, it made a lot of sense because I had a lot of seniors coming in with their legs were like burnt almost like on their bottom legs. And I was like, what is going on? They were losing circulation and their legs turning dark, which is a sign of lack of circulation. And then when I probed further, they were saying, well, I'm just sitting home, and I got my little heater. I said, wait a minute, it's them heaters. It's those heaters, y'all. Watch those heaters. Those little heaters that you have that sit down there when we're not worrying about it now. We're in the springtime. But when you come back around, you got to watch those little heaters. Got it?
So
But
Dr. Paul, my last question it's in regards to something that I heard about, the game. When you go to the football game, you have to show a vaccine card that you've taken the vaccine in for concerts, what I'm hearing someone said. So do you think by all of this, by any means, do you think they're going to make people who have not taken the vaccine be forced as a mandatory law to have to take the vaccine?
Oh yeah, they're tearing left to right.
Yeah,
they are
coming.
tearing.
They're
They're starting to tear those that took it and those who did not. But they're walking very softly with this. They're trying to push this as a mandatory. But I'm going to tell you, you can't do that. See, your human rights are that you have the right to not put something in someone's body. That is your righteous human temple. So that means that is the most precious part of your body. So you have the right to decide that. That's why they know this. That's why before you get a vaccine, you have to sign a letter of consent. You're consenting to it. You got it? If it was not against that, then you could just jab you in the arm and you can just be bye-bye. So that means that, really what's happening is they're getting your universal.
What happened?
Yeah, Dr. Paul, did you freeze?
Oh, the Shungite.
Did I freeze? Did I freeze?
You froze. You froze.
You froze.
Yes, you
Somebody said the
did.
Shungite got you, Dr. Paul.
Take that off your wrist.
Am I still freezing? Am I still freezing?
No,
No, you're fine now.
See, I see. We getting too deep.
It was that vaccine.
You got deep and it came at you, buddy.
We getting too deep. We getting too deep. Yay! I'm just telling you. That's the reality of the situation. So it's not saying, whatever your choice is, you just have to make sure that, you understand what's being presented to you. You have the right to choose. Got it? The whole purpose of the Sanitary Act of the United Nations, which they're messing with that right now, says that you have the right to choose, and if you choose, they want everyone to get vaccine, but yet here are the numbers still sky high. They're going sky high. So what are you saying? And now we got all of Europe shutting down. Something's not adding up. Something's not adding up. What's happening here? The CDC director comes on and says what? Impending doom. Whoa.
Yeah, how about that?
Whoa.
How about that? Is that deep or what?
That means a lot. So I would just say to the family, keep your eyes open, read. Do what you got to do, but you have the right to choose. Your
think
consent.
they're going to try to separate people who have not taken it versus people who have taken
They're
it?
they're already doing it.
now.
They're already
They're
doing
doing
it.
it now.
It's already happening. They're already talking about they're coming up with a universal thing where you can't travel unless you have it. Okay,
Yeah.
That's okay. That's your choice. That's your choice. But your consent has everything to do with that. Got it? That's why you have to sign. That's exactly why you have to sign. So it's your consent. Yeah. All right, family. All right. Let's see.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Who have we have here? We got Stacy. Stacy? Is that Stacy?
Yeah, but you know what? I came on. There was a couple other people before me, so I'm okay.
Okay. You just popped to the top there. We got Zoom user. Whoever Zoom user is. That's at the top now.
Dr. Paul, Pat has a question. He wanted to know, let's see. How
Somebody's
to
scrambling right now.
Hydrate my dry face. It's what Pat wants to know. How does one hydrate her dry face?
Hydrate your dry face.
Yes.
Well, you can use
Is
a
that
lot
me,
of
Doc?
things.
Sorry, is
Yeah,
that
not
me?
yet. Okay, not yet. Hydration comes from a lot of things. You can use things like immediately what comes to mind with skin is derma is going to be aloe vera gel. That comes immediately to mind. Also, what comes immediately to mind is coconut oil, non-hydrogenated, unrefined. Those are the things that come to mind. Got it? Hydration means those things that help the skin to regenerate. Things like that start to get the moisture back in there. So that's what I would say. Things like that. Anything. There's a lot of creams and things. There's a lot of different lotions that are natural organic lotions that are out there, or butters. Of course, you got the shea butters, things like that, the vitamin E's, things like that will always keep the moisture. But the person's skin, everyone's skin is a little different. So there's combinations that we can use.
Okay.
All right. All right. Anyone else? Let's see who else. Any on the chat there, Big B?
No, that was a lot.
All right. We got
Right
Zoom
behind your
user.
side.
That was Farouk. I think Farouk was coming. He was running. I think he's gone again. There he is. All right, Farouk. I see you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. So, Dr. Paul, you're awesome, man. I mean,
thank you, brother.
I
You
just
too,
took your
man. You too.
God is so good. I know I am. God is so good. But what I wanted to give a little insight on is I've been taking your herbs and I haven't, got a chance to really talk about it. But honestly, as I've been taking and drinking the crystal geyser water, and also I've been giving Kareem Shakir a run for his money, man.
You did.
Because he's good, man. He's good. I've been helping him, just looking out and supporting my, people who are of color, and I realized that he's awesome, and he does a lot of community, work with people, man, that really need, support. I mean, that's why I see why y'all friends, man. Y'all, I mean, it's just amazing, man.
Yeah. We try to keep it moving, man. What's your question then?
And no, what I wanted to ask was, is there relating to, like you said, well, these vaccines and things like that, is there any reason, like, why would they be trying to, like, change the orientation of the method of why they, trying to
Change the what now?
get the orientation of the method, the culture, why they trying to force people to get up, like try to be like slick about it.
That's a deep rabbit hole.
That's a loaded question.
That's a loaded question. You got to unpack. You got to. I would say this. This is what I say. Don't focus on the negative. You got to focus on the positive. Okay. Don't get into the debates and things like that and the conspiracy theories, because it's a deep rabbit hole. It can go very deep. The only true method that you have is you. You got it? That's it. Inside of you tells the whole story. Because guess what? That's the God inside of you.
Yep. There you go.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
That's the God inside of you. So whether you know something is right or wrong already resonates in your spirit if you're connected to God.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
You ain't got to sit there and figure nothing out. It's already there.
Amen.
He didn't have an ear, let him hear. So that's why, the question is not a question for those that are connected. So my thing is, so your only real thing is to stay connected. You got me?
Yes,
connected with your temple. Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Y'all heard that before,
Amen.
right?
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
There you go.
Yes, right. Yes.
There you go.
You got me. Now you feel me. That's it. You just gotta. That's your only requirement. That's your only requirement. Is to stay focused, and that's all. That's all we're required to do is to take care of this temple. And this temple, if you ask the universe, you'll get it. You'll find out. All you got to do is just get in that prayer. Go in that, close that closet. Boom.
Yeah.
You go in there.
That's what he says.
He said, go in your prayer closet.
Go to your closet.
And you ask the question, should I get it or should I not? And you're going to get your answer. You got it?
Wow.
You're
That's
going to get
amazing.
it. That's
amazing.
it. It's that simple. It's that simple.
So,
but see, remember, I don't want you to remember something. This is Hollywood. And people don't realize where Hollywood comes from. You know, Hollywood, you know, the Hollywood is the marketing and the media of everything, right? It's the Hollywood, the
Yes.
marketing. And people don't really know where that comes from. That's where the Hollywood represents, you know. Anybody know what Hollywood really means? Why they call it Hollywood? Anybody
No,
know?
no.
Do y'all know? Who's serious?
Sound good to me.
No.
Don't tell them, Dr. Paul.
Would you say?
Don't tell them, Dr. Paul.
Don't tell 'em.
Explain.
Explain. You got some explaining to do. All right. So here, what happens is Hollywood is based off the concept of, you know, when they had, remember Merlin, the you know, the musician, you know,
Yeah.
you know, when he had that cloak and he had the staff, right? Well, that staff was what he did his incantations and spells with, right? Well, that was actually that rod that he used was made of Hollywood. So Hollywood represents the incantation or spell or casting of the spells over the minds and imagination of people. That's the whole concept of the whole movies. That's what movies are based off of. You know, it's telling a story. It's telling it's telling a picture. It's telling a story that's convincing. That's it. So you gotta watch this. So you gotta understand what that's all about. You know, it's all about marketing, advertising. That's why I say read. You know, get back to your reading, get back to your biblical thing. Look in your Bible, start reading, start doing things, asking questions. You have the right to know. So make sure you read. Okay.
That's deep.
Dr. Paul, also, Farouk, bear in mind too, one thing you never want to do, you don't want the people to know what you tell us. Sometimes when we ask questions, then it pigeonholes you. And then guess what? You hear these terms, what they call it, conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, don't get into that. Don't give your energy to that. Right.
Never be able to share the thing
Right.
giving you straight to other people.
Right. Don't get into that. Right. Make sure your energy is in the right place.
Correct. Always.
Because so a man thinketh, so he is.
Amen.
So if you keep thinking about gloom and doom, that's what you're going to draw. You're going to draw that energy. So that's why you got it. Why y'all think we opened up this show with the samba? Y'all see me jamming in here? Like, hey, samba. You know, we celebrating, man. You know, the gospel is the good news, Jack. You know, you got to understand what side you on. Because if you on the right side,
I love that. Amen.
If you on the right side, you rejoice. You don't have to get into that craziness.
That's right.
But God, but you know what, God, not to cut you off, but God is so good. But I want to give y'all a chance to, get through our family tree. But I want to say one more thing. I thank God for your herbs, because honestly, I just drank the Eliminator. Man, that thing had such of a taste. Yeah, it must be a bitter, because it has such of a taste, man. You pour it into your water. That's the best clean out you ever can get.
Okay, I'm glad it did well. I'm glad.
And it's instant. It's like hit your bloodstream, hit your saliva, boom.
Okay, thank you, Rick. I appreciate you, brother.
Hold on, one last thing.
Okay.
Doing towards the end, just welcome me in so I can get us started. I want some distributors to be on, to kind of log in. I want to ask, would you ever be interested in,
Sure. And thank you, Fareed. And we're gonna leave on that one, okay? Because I want to say to the family, yes, we are going to start to open up the floor for those who have, you may have. Remember, this is the family tree, so you may have a business or you have something that you want to advertise right on here. We can actually do that. We're going to start that. Big B is over there putting together a program so that if you want to, tell folks that, what you're doing, we always have close to 200 folks every week right here on the family tree, and we chime in and we talk about everything. And if it's something that's good with the health side, run it past us. If you got a health product, you got something that you want to talk about, you can advertise right here on the family tree. And no better place to be with your social security, right? How about that? All right. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. Thank you, brother Farouk. I appreciate
You're
you,
welcome,
man.
bro.
All right, I got Latia. That's Latia Taylor. Love you too, brother.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Dr. Paul. I saw that it was quite a few people in the chat before me. Did you want to take
Okay,
them?
maybe you just popped to the front there. Let me grab.
Yeah, Dr. Paul, I don't think you catching us. This is
Okay,
Robin,
Robin, where are
and
you?
my
Way
hand
down
been
there.
raised for a long time.
Yeah, but luckily there's no time meter on here that
And I
shows
go
me
after her.
how long. So go ahead, Robin. I'll let you go, and then Cynthia. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Jesus. Hi, everyone. Happy birthday, Dr.
Thank you,
Paul.
Jesus.
Look, this is kind of real simple question, and it's really, it's. I just want to applaud a lot of things that you're doing. I am taking all of the greens and the eliminator and the colon cleanse and all that good stuff. Early in the morning, I drink my Dr. Paul powder. I do that every morning. Then I do it in the middle of the day, and then I do it at night. But in the morning, 30 minutes after that, I take my MSM powder. Now,
Good.
I go to the bathroom, excuse me, everyone. I go to the bathroom 3 times after I take that MSM. I can, as soon as I take the green powder, I know I'm going to the bathroom. As soon as I take the MSM, it's 2 more times. Is that normal?
Well, it depends on, you don't want to move too fast, of course. Make sure that you're not moving to the point where you're adding, you can be moving too fast. Remember, we don't want to move too fast. If it's to the point where if it's more than after you eat, soon after you eliminate, you're probably moving too much energy there. Got it? So you want to back down.
Okay.
MSM is not something that you need to do. That's for those that need it. Remember? If you already have that energy, you're adding MSM. MSM is used as methyl sulfate methane. Got it? So it's actually organic sulfur. Organic sulfur is a lot of energy there. The whole purpose of it is to push it into the cells. You probably just need the green drink. You don't need the MSM. That's the whole point. So
Well,
you probably don't.
I was taking the MSM. I was taking the MSM because I'm coming to see you on May the 6th, and I can't wait. But I was taking it because I have really bad arthritis. I have a lot of pain. So I was taking it for the pain. Now, I guess when I come see you, you'll be able to tell me what I really should be taking for my body. That is correct.
I would focus on, if you have pain, then you would focus on your pH balance. Got it?
Okay.
Remember we did the pH balance? Test yourself. Know where you are at all time. All you got to do is get those pH testing strips. You remember those?
I do that every day, and I'm in between. Well, I'm not going to tell you I'm not doing it the right way. I know I'm not. You're going to have to tell me. But there are days when I use my urine, and it's like a 7.3. And then there's sometimes when I use my saliva, and it might be in that same area, if not a little lower.
Okay. Remember, here's the rules to live by. Okay. For when you're testing pH, make sure you do it always, never after a meal, always before a meal. Okay. That's number one. Number two, when you get the pH strips, you can get them from anywhere like an herbal store. Do not try to get them from a drugstore. That's not going to happen. Got it? Has to be an herbal store. They're not going to sell it to you in a drugstore. Okay? So you want something that's basically, when you test it, you want to have it before a meal, before breakfast, also before dinner, things like that. Okay? Test it a little bit. You can have it on a spoon with the saliva, or you can tap it under the tongue. Read it. Boom, right then. It's an energy test. It's nitrogen based, so basically, or hydrogen based. I'm sorry, hydrogen based. So when it touches saliva, another one touches urine, turns a color. That color matches a card on the back, which shows you where the energy is. Remember, we got urine over saliva. You remember the formula, right? Okay, urine over saliva, just like a division problem. The rule for calculation to get the holistic number. Remember, you cannot do one, you must do two. It's double the saliva, add to the urine, and divide by 3. That's what you would do. So you double the saliva number, add to the urine, divided by 3. You want to get at least a logbook going. And when you take it, I would write that down also. So when you can take it in the morning, in the afternoon, evening, whatever. Write down where you were, what your pH was, and the time that you took it. And then after a while, you're going to see a trend. You're going to see a trend or something. Something that you're taking is making you either acidic or alkaline. So that's where we start. Okay. But you got to track yourself. I'm going to tell you that a lot of people have a lot of problems with pH. It goes back to liver, okay, a weak liver or a congested liver. So that's why we got to clean a lot of the liver. So what you would do is, make sure that your water's on top, right? Got to make sure your water's good. Got it. You're drinking the right water, half your body weight in ounces. Got it. But also make sure if you're doing this, there are herbs that clean the liver because that's your nuclear reactor. That's your power source. Got it?
Okay. So I was not drinking Crystal Geyser, right? That water. I thought that I was drinking the right water, but I was not drinking the right water. I was drinking that water that costs $10. That expensive water, whatever that water is, black and white bottle. So it
okay,
had
about the essential water.
pH in it.
Yeah, essential
water. That water. So I stopped drinking that, and now I'm drinking the Crystal Geyser water. So I'm on point with that. But
see, that makes a difference. I don't want to interrupt you there, but that makes a difference. See, that can throw off your whole numbers. When did you stop that? Was that recently or was it a month ago? How long ago was that?
I think it was, I sent it to Miss Sharon, so it might have been last month. I stopped drinking the essential water.
Yeah, see, it takes the time for you to resonate, to start to bring the pH up. I have folks that come in that test their pH on a regular. When they come in, they got books. They got books showing every day they're doing it, and you can see before you even bring it into me, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see a difference there. You're going to learn something about yourself. And that's going to be that your pH has everything to do with, how you feel. I can guarantee you when you're having that day, kind of not there today, your pH is off. But when your pH is strong and it's on, you're going to say, oh, I'm feeling good today. I bet you're alkaline. I guarantee it. See, it's an energy game. It's an energy game. That's all it is. The body's only looking for energy. So that's why it's not the food, it's the energy in the food. Got it?
Okay. So now my last question is, I would been, since it was the Daniel fast, this last 10 days, I was doing a smoothie diet. Okay? But I would do the avocado, the spinach, and water, and something else inside of it, pineapples, something. Avocados. Green apple. Okay. That's what I would do in the morning. And at night I would do like another kale or something else. But I found that I was gaining weight. Is it because I'm not opposed to me losing weight, I'm gaining weight? Is it because I need to eat something like some kind of substance?
No, you're going to need an assessment for that one. Yeah, you're going to need an assessment. So when you come in, we can tell what's going on. You can start burning fat for energy. That's when you start storing up. You start storing up fat. That's when, a lot of people are on this ketone diet, believing that you can actually, do better by burning fat for energy. That's wrong. Your body does not function like that. You burn carbohydrates for energy. Simple as that. And when you cannot break down carbs, or they say I can't take on carbs, that's usually because you're literally starving. Your body's starving and believes you're in a crisis, so it's going to store up fat. It's going to hold on to fat. It says you starving, we're going to need this. So it's holding on to it. So that's why you're burning fat for energy. You can't burn fat for energy because that's slow energy, and that means slow energy means tired. You're tired all the time. People say, yeah, I'm on this ketone diet, but I sure am tired. That's
Well, I appreciate you, and I'll see you on May 6th.
All right. See you then. All right, Robin. Thank you so much. All right. All right. Who is that? Cynthia? No, let's go to somebody else. Let's go ahead, Cynthia. I'm sorry. What's up, Cynthia? You can be on, but you got to unmute yourself first.
Unmute, Cynthia. There you
I
go.
was so waiting so long.
You done forgot how to use the mute button.
I forgot. Look, first of all, I wanted to say one thing is RNA. What does that stand for? Because I know that this is what they're putting in our bodies, RNA, which affects our DNA. So first, give me what those initials.
Well, it's basically based on RNA, which is the ribonucleic acid. That's basically it. And this is messenger. Remember though, this is messenger RNA. So it's a message that's sent to it to make the protein spike indicators think that they're under attack so that they can raise your immune system.
Yes.
Got it? So it's actually trying to just give them the heads up on what's going on. But here's the problem. When you do anything to send a signal to your immune system, it can only be a poison. You got it?
Right,
That's it.
exactly.
That's it. It can only be a poison, man. That's the whole concept of the allopathic versus naturopathic versus homeopathic. It's the three worlds going on. You got to know who you're talking to and who's talking to you. So when you're looking at this, if you're trying to stimulate the immune system to do anything, it's a poison. You got it? That's it. That's it. That's why you gotta get past that point first. You got to tell me this is not a poison. Because it is. It's a poison. That's all it is. So, but
I asked that question first because when you try, I don't really try to tell people nothing no more now. Because
you can't do it. Don't try to do it. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, because they're already separating us nationally now. Worldly. Because if you say you did not take the shot, then your friends and family, will say, well, you love them, and you.
Hey, you know what? That's why I said, this is between you and your God. You got it? You and your God you serve.
So you tell them that, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. But they get mad at you if you
there's no doubt about that.
If you decided I don't want to do this, and my thing is I have a cousin that's dying. Okay, I love you.
Sorry to hear that.
But he's not dying from COVID. He's 83, and he's one. He's like my senior cousin. Could be like an uncle or whatever. But I love him dearly. I was going to go down on the train to see him, but my thing is this: you ask people before you decide to go somewhere, because people. They love you, but they can still be. It can be confrontational.
Wow.
So
that's right. You don't want to talk. That's why my message that I always tell people is don't get into it. You got it? Even if Christ said himself, he that have an ear, let him hear. I ain't gonna be out here and fight with y'all. You got to hear. It's got to already be inside of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the message has to be inside of you for you to understand. So I'm just resonating something that's gonna hit your frequency, and you say yes. That's like when you knew something was the truth. Everybody on here listening heard something somebody said, and you knew that was the truth. You said, I know that's the truth. You just know. It's a spiritual concept, and that's where we are right now. This is the times we're in. We're in perilous times now. This is based off of spirituality now.
I know that's right.
Everything is been confused.
So this
Things
is my
have
question.
been. Go ahead.
Because Dr. Paul, what you teach, and it's also Dr. Burton, all of y'all, we know this. So what happens? Because you already see where it's going. Where if you didn't take this shot, and you ain't going to take this shot, and now he's separating. Now, how do we move through this?
How do you move towards this thing? Well, like I said, it's going to be a bigger. See, they know that this is going to be a big thing, because when you force people to do stuff, you're taking away their human rights, like I said.
Right.
And it becomes another issue because there are some things that are planted in the UN that actually state. See, there were organizations. I'm part of a group inside of the UN also. It's dealing with indigenous peoples. Got it? Indigenous peoples of the planet. And there was a time that indigenous peoples weren't being accepted into the United Nations, meaning that their principles of doing like herbs and stuff. So these were places. So places like Canada, Australia, some in Europe, they just wouldn't accept people that were doing cultural pieces because it was connected to culture.
Right.
You got me? Cultural people. So they were like, the UN says, well, you can't do that. These people are part of the UN just like you are, and that's their culture. You got to accept them as their culture. And I mean, if anybody's ever been to the UN, it'll trip you out. Everybody comes as they are, right?
Buddy.
I mean, when you come in there and you sit on the floor, I've sat on the floor many times at the UN. And when you sit there, you look around and you see the dynamic of how big this world really is. It's going to blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Like Swaziland. Anybody know what Swaziland is? That one just comes to mind right now. Swaziland is it's a landlock in part of South Africa, right? It's closer to the east side, but it's a landlock. They actually were running from the Zulus. And actually, they just got landlocked right inside of South Africa. They're autonomous. They're the only ones that still have a monarchy left in Africa.
Wow.
They have a king. Okay, they still got a king. Well, when they show up at the UN, they come in full garb. I mean, when I say full garb, they come with a feather in their hair, right? A bow on their back, and just one little sheepskin in the front and the back, and bare feet.
Well.
And when you come in there, they go like, go, no. That's the way they speak this language. It's very, very brute. It's very, very brash. So when you down there and you on the UN floor and you got everybody with suits on, and then you got these brothers rolling in with the whole thing on, it's like, wow, it's very heavy. But it just goes to show you that's the whole point. It's the great meeting place. Okay. Got it? For you to represent yourself. You got it? That's where you represent yourself. And that is all people are represented from around in different countries, creeds, whatever, nationalities. They respect them all. And you have to respect that. And that's when that was my part of my education and understanding. When I was sitting there, I was like, and I had a specific sit down with the Swaziland prince, of Swaziland. So it's a very educational piece is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And that you have to respect that. So, when you get into making people do stuff and because it's out of their culture, it's against their religions and stuff like that, you got to have people's consent.
Yes.
Simple as that. You got me?
Got it.
So that's where we are. Now, if they elevate that to another level where they believe that you no longer have that, then that's what has to happen at that time. We're going to have some issues there.
One other thing, this is it. On the show on Saturdays.
Uh-oh.
I got to go to Dr. Paul.
What'd I do?
Nothing. You don't get a chance to go over what you're going over.
Everybody
come on here because you don't go, you start off with I'm going to talk about so and so and so and so,
and they throw me off every time. Every time they throw me off. It ain't my fault. And then the commercials coming in. You got a question? You got a commercial? I'm like, there's a lot going on.
And then you say, I gotta go now.
Cynthia, you gotta float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's the only way you can make it happen.
I'm done.
Hey, I try to move. When you're in the media like that, it is a lot going on. What y'all don't see. It's amazing what y'all don't see. That goes right, Bill. It's a lot y'all don't see. And sometimes we gotta go on mute. Just to
Lord have mercy.
It's a lot going on because it's like programming, there's marketing, there's advertising, there's we're getting feed stuff on the phone, there's other computers. It's a lot going on. We trying our best, y'all. I can only say that. But I'll try. I'll try better. Just reprimanded me, Bill. She just reprimanded me.
I know.
All right,
I'll do better. Remember, Cynthia, is that there's only the two of us, and Dr. Paul's by himself on Sundays. And what?
Saturday.
On Saturday, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that are happening out there that, as he says, there's no way for him to be able to do everything by himself. It's
yeah, it's crazy. It's really
and
something,
when he
man.
mentioned feeds, Mike or one of the other guys is talking to him through in his ear, while he also has to
I hear you,
So you
Bill.
gotta
Sometimes
multitask the
there's
whole
people.
time.
Sometimes there's 3 or 4 people talking to me
At
at
one
one.
time.
All right, y'all.
So-
Y'all gotta stop this. Something's wrong here, y'all. Y'all gotta calm this down. So,
Okay.
so it's just multimedia, and that's what we do. So we
Yes.
doing the best we can do. But that's why we got the family tree.
That's
yeah.
right,
All
that's
right.
right,
That's why we
that's
got
right.
the family tree, so we can talk the way we talk over here, y'all. You know, unlimited time, because we
Yes,
are
yes,
wrapping
yes.
up.
That's
Bill's
right.
giving me the wrap up signs.
I'm just trying to be cool over here. Kind of rolling around my chin.
See, that's what y'all don't see when somebody doing like this. Somebody doing like that. Wrap it up. I'm like, no, or they'll say, wrap it up. 2 minutes. I'm like,
Gotcha.
2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
1 minute.
Oh,
1
yeah.
minute. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well,
All
Dr.
right,
Paul, I'm
so
sorry.
let me get some more. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit, y'all. I'm gonna stay on a little
Okay.
bit. All right,
Okay.
Stacy,
Yeah.
go ahead, Stacy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this real fast. Okay. First of all, what is the best type of cookware?
Cookware would be anything like the cast irons. Cast iron.
Really?
Yep, cast iron is always going to be the best. Yep. Just don't get hit with one.
Yeah,
Cast
right.
Great weapons.
Okay.
Well, the second one I was going to ask is, I bought some chickweed tea. I bought comfrey tea. When is the best time to take it? Do you take it on an empty stomach or like before or after meal?
Usually chickweed, you remember what chickweed is, okay? For those who are
Yes.
listening for chickweed is an appetite suppressant. It's actually very good for weight loss, okay? Chickweed. And that's because it has very high protein, plant-based protein, which means that it takes the desire for you to eat. You really get have the sensation of fullness. So that's why chickweed is very good. I always say take these things, it depends on your situation. If you're someone who want to lose weight, if you take this before you eat, you're not going to eat a lot. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to eat a lot. But if you want something, afterwards, you just want as a tea, just to maybe cut the, sometimes you cut the amount of food intake that you're doing. So you do half of your meal, and then you do some chickweed. That sort of cuts the meal also. So it's used in different ways. And what was the other one you said? Chickweed, and then what was the other one?
Comfrey.
Comfrey.
Yes.
Bones, joints, ligaments, connective tissue.
Right.
Comfrey is also very good. I love comfrey as a calmative tea, but it is a strength. We call that the strength herb. Puts what we call might in your hand. That's what they call it, might in your hand. Very high with iron. Very good for bringing what's called magnetism back to your muscles. If you got flabby muscles or things start to get a little flabby, that's what tightens the muscles back up. I see you, Leo, over there. You didn't know you were still on camera, girl. Go ahead. She laughing. But when your muscle loses its magnetism, magnetism is male and female principle. It keeps it tight. Got it? Comfrey brings that back. That's why it's also good for bone density.
Okay.
Bone density issues. Yeah, bone density. Not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Got
And
it?
so when would you take it? Like empty stomach
You can take
before you
it.
go to sleep?
Comfrey is something that you can take after a meal. There you go. Comfrey leaf tea. Yeah, excellent. Excellent for like someone who has after a knee operation, a meniscus tear, ACL, hip surgery, knee surgery. Yep, gout. Yep, that's what comfrey is good for. Yeah, that's all good for that stuff. Comfrey is awesome, y'all. It's also good for the men. It's a men's tea. That's good for the male reproductive system. Got it? So
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Someone
All
was
right.
asking about copper pots, Dr. Paul.
Copper pots, yes. Copper pots. That copper is good for circulation, y'all. You remember? You get you a copper pot. Anything that has copper is good for circulation. Usually when people hair goes gray, it's because of the lack of copper. Got it? Lack of copper. But
Okay.
also copper is used for circulation. So circulation issues. That's why people have the copper bracelets. You ever see the copper bracelets?
Oh, wow.
Or you
Okay.
even have these sleeves. You have these sleeves that you put on the elbow that are copper lining, or they have copper mesh inside of it. That's because it's actually good for you. Got it? And also, the copper bracelets also, you can put one around your wrist, but you got to keep them clean. Got it? Because after a while, you'll look at the copper bracelet and you take it off and it turns green. You see that green turn? Okay, and you thought it was bad copper. No, that's not bad copper. That green is coming out of you. It's detoxing you. That's detoxing. That's coming out of you. How about that?
Wow. Can I ask you a question? The Himalaya water that you said we could use for our face, how long does that stay usable?
Well, it's a brine. So brine just has to be, agitated again. So it should last for a while. That usually doesn't go bad. You can keep that in as long as you keep a lid on it. You can let it sit for a while. And what Flo is talking about is brine. We call it brine, where you take like a Himalayan sea salt and you actually put it in about 2/3 of a jar of water. A good water like a Himalayan salt, and you would take like, how many we talk about, like 4 or 5 tablespoons of the Himalayan salt, and you just leave it in there, and then after a while, in about 3 days, 2 or 3 days, it's going to turn cloudy. That's brine. So that's used for doing like exfoliating things like your skin. Women, I tell you to put that right in your bathrooms. So when you're taking off the makeup and things, you would use that, just a little bit on the cloth and get there, and it'll pull out all the nicks and crannies and all that stuff, and the blackheads and things like that. Cleans the pores, something incredibly. And it also is nurturing at the same time, because remember, Himalayan salt has 84 to 90 minerals in the salt. Got it? So it's also excellent exfoliant. Okay. And, because with makeup, makeup can clog a lot of pores. So a lot of ladies, remember, that's, what makeup really is, right? Y'all know what makeup really is, right?
We don't want to.
It really got quiet, Bill.
Don't want to hear about that.
It really.
What is it?
It really got quiet, Bill. I don't think I've been covered this.
Let's use the brine.
I think we better just use the brine. Don't worry about it. On this one, just trust me on this one. I'm not going to talk about. Cynthia already slapped my hand. I'm not going in there nowhere. I'm not going in there. Y'all ain't getting me in trouble tonight. All right.
Oh, wow.
All right, y'all. We got to wrap it up. We really got to wrap it up. And I want to thank everyone for all of your input and everything. See, this is what the family tree is all about. You got to go somewhere where you can talk and bring up the topics that cause the things that you see on TV. And you say, you know what? I got to start writing this stuff down. So I want everybody to have a little pad and pen next to their TV. When you were seeing stuff, just write a list of stuff.
That's right.
And then, because that brings up a lot of questions. Because I'm telling you, it's not a lot of places you can ask. You're being dictated a lot with all this stuff.
I know that's right.
And you got so many questions that nobody seems to be asking. I'm saying I'm on a one-way street, and if I decide to even look the other way, it's bad. So that's not good.
I know that's right.
Remember, communication is a two-way street, right?
Dr. Paul.
Yes.
And if you're on a two-way street, that's the only way you can have communications, right? If it's one-way street, that's not what? That's dictation. You're taking notes or you're taking information. That's why we go back and forth. All right?
Dr. Paul.
Who had the question? Leah?
Yeah, before you leave, can you give me some extra waters other than Crystal Geyser again?
Sure. You can have, there's one called Icelandic Glacier. Y'all know about Iceland. There's a big old volcano going off right now. That's where all that water, excellent water comes right from Iceland. Yep, Icelandic.
Where can we get that?
You can go, believe it or not, you can find that in most of the stores, like the
Walgreens.
Acme, Walgreens. You can find it in ShopRite. You can find it in a lot of places.
Yes.
Marshalls.
Burlington's, Ross.
Burlington. See,
Yes.
Prophetess over there got it all. She got it all wrapped
Got the whole list.
She got the whole
Dollar
list.
store.
Okay, and what else?
Okay, we have Avion. That's from the French Alps.
Okay.
And also you have Eternal. Eternal's a good one. There's a lot of them out there. As long as it says spring water bottle at the source. Of course, Fiji. You know, Fiji is one also. Okay. So those are a few right there.
Okay.
You got a lot of
All
them.
right. So Icelandic, you can find it a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. There's a Hawaiian water. There's a
Yes.
Hawaiian water. Yes, there's an excellent Hawaiian water. That is correct. But you know what? Where's that? You know, a lot of volcanoes out in Hawaii. Got it. So a lot of that water is pure water. That's the real thing.
I saw this water that says alkaline 88.
Nope.
Right. Those are reverse osmosis waters.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Those are reverse osmosis. I mean, those are what we call style waters. I mean, now the only option outside of spring water bottle at the source would be an ionizer. Okay, and that's an ionizer. And some people have ionizers. I have an ionizer. It sits on your faucet, and it actually is like a little device. And what it does, it charges the water. Okay, so it actually, when it goes through the process, but it does not remove the hydrogen. That's the key.
Okay.
It does not remove the hydrogen. It actually has a process of filtering out the pollutants and things, but it charges the water. You got one side, they go through what's called platinum plates. And the platinum plates, one side is positive charge, another side is negative. So when the water goes through, one goes one way, the negative water, that's the alkaline water, goes through what? The alkaline wine, and that's what you drink. And then the positive charged water goes in the bottom of your sink, and that's used for capturing for things like cleaning pots and rust and things like that. That's what acid waters are used for. Got it?
Okay.
So it's a great machine. And if you live in the cities, that's not a bad thing to have as an alternative, because you never have to buy water again. But remember, it is charged by platinum plates. That's what Aaron Brockovich said was the key for what happened in on the water. You remember the water in what's the place up there with the children? Can't think of it. Flint, Michigan. There's what happened was they were knowing that this water was so bad that it was coming from Lake Huron, which actually was good water to purifying, but they were putting these things called chloramines in the water, and it was destroying the water, and it was also making it very acidic. So when you see them pull up that brown dirty water, that's actually chloramines caused that. That's what that is. You know, and GM stopped them from using it. They stopped using the water because it was rusting their parts. But yet they're going to send it through to the poor folks and let them drink it. You got it? So she said, get a ionizer at the tap for all these people. That's what she said. And that's where the ionizers start really getting their popularity. But they're good. If you can afford one, get one. But if not, spring water bottle at the source. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, family.
Just one thing. I just want to thank and congratulate you and your wife for an outstanding job with your son. I love the intro of his music. Why is fried chicken so good?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
What oil to use for that fried chicken? Okay.
Yeah, you better. You know it wasn't no refined. He does. You know what he does though? He has a air fryer, and he swear he cooking, boy. He was like, "Dad, I'm cooking today." Throw it in the air fryer and go upstairs. I'm like, man.
The changes in generation, Dr. Paul. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's their generation. You know.
Yes,
So
it is.
yes,
Yes,
if
it
you did hear the show I gave that, you know, my son, you know, I'm so proud of a papa. I am proud papa. He actually got a full ride 4-year scholarship to Drexel University. Yes, absolutely. Yes, he's studying film, cinematography. You know, he won the Liberty Scholarship, you know, which is out of probably about 65 in the world. He got one of them, you know, and so it's an incredible honor. Incredible honor, 4-year ride. You know, he's part of the studying is that, he goes to Hollywood. So that's why he loves what he's doing. He's like, he wants to be the new Spike Lee, with the music and everything. So we are truly blessed. I'm truly thankful. I thank God, for all that, everything that, I'm just truly thankful, for all of that, and I don't say it enough, but I really am blessed. And I'm truly thankful for all that we've been through in this last couple years. I've been going through it, but I stay on the front line. God said, take care of my people and I'll take care of you.
I know that's
all
right.
I function
All
with.
right.
That's all what I
That's
function with, and he has taken care of me. So I thank you all. I don't get a chance to thank you all enough, but I truly am blessed to have all you that when you chime in, y'all support me and support Bill and the Green Hour and the show that I do. And they came to the women and the men's group. And, that means a lot. That means
it does. That's
you
so
are
great.
caring and that spiritually you're connected, that there's got to be something else. This ain't it. What I'm hearing is right there.
It's amazing.
So stay to that. Stay to that thing. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your God. You got me?
Yep.
And I just want to thank you all again for all that you all have done. And Jaron, he's a lot of
amazing.
He's a crazy man.
He is
guys.
amazing.
And
He's
you
a
know
crazy
what? And what's
man.
amazing also with the way the schools are right now, and the way things are happening to children in school. He's a senior. You are truly, and he is truly blessed because. He got caught up in all this quagmire. It's a mess.
Yeah, and I remember when we talked about this, he said, I want to do film. I said, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm really winning. I talked about this like 2 years ago. So I said, let's look at the schools. So when I saw all the schools, I said, Drexel. He looked at me and said, he's like, get out of here. He's like, no way. He said, are you serious? I said, Drexel. And he says, Dad, I know what he says, Dad, I know what you mean, but that's Drexel. I said, that's the one you put out in the universe. That's what he been doing for 2 years. He been putting it out there. And sure enough, it came right around the corner. I tell you, whatever you want, family. You remember I told you I did a whole show. You remember we did that whole show on put it out in the universe. Whatever you want, write it down.
Yep. You gotta see it.
And the universe will come to your beck and call. You got it? But you got to be living right, though. You got to be living right. You got to have your temple right. You got to be eating right. You got to be doing that. And God's going to bless you richly. I'm going to tell you, it happens. That anointing comes in your life and it's overwhelming. Sometimes the information comes so fast. I got to say, Lord, you got to slow it down.
I can't take them.
I can't do it. But he keeps on doing it. And I challenge people. I say, you know what? You can't beat God given.
I know.
You can't beat him. I challenge you. I want to challenge everybody. Just try to beat God given. I mean, I'm going to put that as a challenge for you. Try to just go out there and bless somebody. Say, you know what? Here, a couple dollars here. And I'm going to say, that money going to come back to you so fast. It's going to be like, dang, I can't give money away.
Can't even get out of your mouth fast enough before it comes back.
I can't. It's before you can get this thing out your pocket fast enough. This stuff is going to be coming back and you say, girl, didn't I owe you $50? You'd be like, dang.
I know that's right.
So I'm saying this because I think people need to hear this tonight.
Yes,
you're holding on to your blessings. Your blessings are already there.
In your hand.
Blocked up. You're blocked up. You're blocked up. You got to let this thing go. Stop praying and begging for stuff. You got to put it into motion.
Yep.
God said, put it out there. Make it happen.
In your mouth.
Come on, put it
Come
out
on,
there.
preacher.
Never.
You can't be.
You will from the
I'm gonna
Savior.
tell you. It's gonna shock you. It's gonna knock your socks off.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
One time God.
That's right. You can't be God given. So whatever you want, put it out in the universe.
Yes,
That's why you cannot operate in the spirit of fear.
Yes.
You got it? Don't operate. Even when it seemed dark and gloomy, you're like, man, I don't know what's going on. Oh,
you don't need to know. Just trust and walk in.
Just trust them. Just trust them. That's right.
That's all you gotta do.
Stand in the breach.
That's right. All right. Let the church say amen.
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 Yes.
Yeah, boy.
All right, Big B. All right, Big B, close us out, man.
Yeah. Hey guys, I just wanted to remind you. Remember. If indeed you want to get a copy of the chat tonight, someone's already put it into the chat. I already did as well. Mechavideo at Mechavideo at gmail.com. Mechavideo at gmail.com. You get a copy of tonight's chat. And I try and keep.
I'm still waiting on mine.
So listen, just email me. I know folks have been asking me to build a list. I can't build a list just because I forget I'm young, y'all. So just send me a request, and I try to get it back to you as quickly as I possibly can. Okay. Also, to remember, if you want to just continue to, not if you, as you decide to support Dr. Paul and the group here, listen, just support us by using his Cash App at that $ capital DR Dr. PAULHOP, Dr. Paul Hop. And I'm gonna tell you something. He just said, you put it out there, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna come back. And when I say that, I get to go to Hollywood because Jared told me he gonna take me in his suitcase.
He going to Hollywood.
Yeah, he going to Hollywood. Dr. Paul can visit. So there. And by the way, I just want you to know, I love you guys. You have no idea. This is truly a blessing for me as well. You know, this keeps me going. Look, hey guys, I'll be 80 years old in a minute, so y'all just keep hanging in there.
When's your birthday, Big B? When's your birthday, man?
June the 5th, man.
Okay, all right, we gotta keep an eye on that one.
Look, you can't keep on with me. You better watch
And
out.
looking good.
No, that's right.
Keep it on.
Glory, y'all.
All right, family, it is a pleasure. I just want to see y'all jam on the way out. Y'all hear that music coming in through here? Come on, that's right. You got to shake it.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. I hope everyone does well. Hallelujah. The gospel is in the good news. All right. Bless y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Do something positive. Bless somebody tonight. Go ahead and bless somebody.
Have a blessed resurrection Sunday.
Yes.
Love everybody. Love everybody.
And remember, if you're breathing, you got a shot.
Hallelujah.
Have a blessed Sunday. Have a blessed resurrection day. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. That's good to see everyone. I'm glad everyone tuned in. It was a great.
And remember, just invite more people.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lord. By the way, for those of you who are trying to find
all right. Thank you, Prophetess. Appreciate you.
Great word, Dr.
Big B, Margaret, Candace, Stacy. All right, Keith. I see you over there, Keith. I ain't see you over there. Hey, Patricia.
All right, Dr. Paul.
Hey, Pamela. What's up, Bill Reed? What's happening, man? We got Dolly and Cynthia over there. Hannah.
Want to do it?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you will.
You gotta go. Find
All right. Brenda, Sheila, we got everybody. That's right. All the time. All right. Y'all have a blessed one and have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you next week on the Family Tree.
All right. Dr. Paul.
God bless.
God bless everyone.
Good night, everyone.
God bless y'all.
All right.
Bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Amen.
Got name up there now? Now it says Stacy
Yes.
Pop Johnson.